Welcome to 15 Friends. Today's episode is about music, which means everybody listening is either going to think we're wrong about everything, and we're okay with that. Welcome to 15 Friends podcast. I'm Jeff. The crew's all here. Let's get it started. Take a seat, Campbell.
Jeff, your intros just continue to get better and better, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. We've got Norm, Brian.
What's the word?
Hey.
Derek.
Hola.
Kyle.
Well, hello.
Jeff and myself in the house today. Today we're going to do a little side piece, as we will. Not the normal flow where we have a topic that we like to discuss as buddies, but we're going to get into a little more of a specific topic about music and probably the predictable categories that come up at a bar stool or when you're hanging out with your friends. We're going to talk a little bit about the first concert that you ever went to. Then we're going to discuss the top 5 albums you would take with you if you were stranded on a desert island. We're going to discuss the most overrated and underrated bands or artists. And then bands or artists that you are embarrassed that you admit that you like. So, boys, what do we think about the topics?
I love every bit of it. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say.
I got opinions.
This is a judge-free zone. Is that right, boys?
Correct,
it is.
Correct.
And can I just say real quick, Brian, thank you for getting here. You kind of hustled in from a Memorial Day family hang. And we kind of pressured you to get in here because music is very near and dear to your heart. So we really do appreciate you hustling in here to participate on this one.
Yep. I think that these lists are, as of today, Memorial Day 2026, my lists could change tomorrow. These are really hard conversations to have, so I'm just sending that
100%
out there.
Yeah, I know some very underrated folks out there. Oh, I'm going to piss some people off today, baby. It's going down.
I'm actually waiting to say I'm keeping my list hid.
I am not apologizing. I'm standing on business today. If you don't like it, that's a you problem.
I think I'm most interested in Norm's, Brian's, and Derek's.
I feel like we should have a side bet on Norm's top 5 closest.
All right, guys, I'm gone. Thanks.
He's leaving. Kyle's leaving.
There was 17 minutes. We're not 17 minutes yet, Kyle.
He was like, I care about this.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I always feel left
you
out.
You still got about 5 more minutes, so
Maybe.
We need to hustle.
At most. Kidding me?
All right, so in the interest of kicking this thing off, let's just go around the room counterclockwise. Jeff, first concert you ever went to, and give a little commentary.
All right, so this is kind of like a 2-part answer for me, and you'll understand why. So the very first concert that I actually ever went to, which was not my choice, was Kenny Rogers, and I went with my mother and my grandmother, and it was probably in the 1981-82 time frame. I was taken there. I sat between my mother and my grandmother and saw The Gambler live. I don't remember it much. I know it happened. The first concert that I actually chose to go to is kind of a putting my thing on the table concert because I got to see Metallica open for Ozzy on the Master Puppets, the Ultimate Sin tour.
Goodness. And
Cliff Burton was there, who was Metallica's original, not really original, but bass player, and so those are my first concert answers.
Can you give a quick, the first one sounds like you didn't remember it a whole lot, but
No.
what was most memorable about Metallica? I mean,
Well, I was
first
probably
of all, The Gambler, then Metallica.
12,
Good, Good things to be able
all
to admit.
over the place,
Yeah,
right?
good.
All over the place. I was probably 12 or 13 on that Ozzy Metallica tour. I'd been into Judas Priest. I'd been into Black Sabbath. I'd been into Def Leppard. Metallica was kind of new to me. I was into Ozzy for sure. But when Metallica took the stage, man, that was life-changing. Seeing that band live, I had a little bit of a reference point to them, but I wasn't huge into them. I was aware of Ride the Lightning. But as soon as I saw that concert, I went back and retrospectively got all their records, Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, and that just kind of took me into that world.
Did you say, just for clarity, did you say you were about 12 or 13 for the Metallica?
Yes.
So give us a snapshot of what Jeff Blanchard looked like in those early, because those are big bands for like a 12, 13-year-old to be getting into those. That's heavy
Shoulder
stuff,
length hair.
right?
I was just getting ready. So I must have been 12 because I was just getting ready to move to Maryland. I was in 7th or no.
Probably so.
Anyway, I'm probably confusing stuff.
Yeah, 8th or 9th.
So I was just getting ready or just had moved to Maryland. I don't recall the exact location. I feel like it was the Centrum, but the date doesn't line up. But I was really scrawny, had a lot of acne, had super not great long hair. I looked like Derek in his picture of long hair that he had.
Hey, man.
The one when he drives that Fiero, right?
Yes,
Hey,
correct.
man.
The yellow one.
That was before it really started growing out. Hey, man. My mom was always fine with my hair choices. My dad, who was the more conservative side of our family, wasn't impressed that I was growing my hair out at the time. But yeah, that was just kind of my first metal concert. I was already kind of into metal. We'll get into the whole reference of my older sisters getting me into music and that space down the road. But yep.
Awesome. Kenny Rogers and Metallica for Jeff Blanchard's nice. And
Put your
Ozzy,
hands together.
Kyle, jump in here, man. I can't wait to hear this one.
All right, so first one, and I'm going to do the same thing as Jeff because the first one was just one that I was just taken to, but it was Aerosmith, and but it was the 9 Lives tour. So 9 Lives, which I think is criminally underrated, very just tons of great hits on it. And then that same week, I went and I saw Jethro Tull. And it was a full rendering of their Aqualung record.
Whoa.
And so Ian Anderson was just playing the flute on one leg the entire time.
That's amazing.
It was amazing. But again, if you go back in all of the discography of Aerosmith, give a listen to 9 Lives because it actually really is amazing. It just kind of got stuck in between some early and some late.
Gotta say, man, it feels like you were drugged to the who was the second one you said?
Jethro.
Yeah,
Jethro Tull?
It feels like you were drugged there
No,
against
God,
your
no.
will.
Dude,
You were
that's-
drugged to the better show.
Yeah.
No,
The one you
that's
chose with the flute. Rethink that.
no, God, dude, that's what I grew up on. I grew up on Jethro Tull,
Incredible.
like all the old stuff. I mean, this is like classic Zeppelin, Floyd, Hendrix, like all of those classic ones. But Jethro Tull, dude, if you haven't, like Ian Anderson, it's like a spectacle. It's like a stage show.
Yeah.
Just him hopping around. It's amazing.
So I just like to call out the first two to share are going deep and heavy. Those are big bands. I heard Jeff say Judas Priest, which is big for a teenager, and then the Jethro Tull for early adolescent. Those are big bands that you guys are getting introduced to early.
Yeah.
Impressive. The bar has been set, Norm.
Yeah, that's pretty high. I mean, I don't know who the hell Jethro Tull is.
I was just going to say the exact same
like-
thing.
and I'm
I
saying-
was like,
whoa,
he
whoa,
doesn't have
whoa,
no damn idea.
It's TH.
Jethro, it
There you
doesn't
go.
matter.
Yeah.
I don't know
TH.
who the hell it is.
Yeah, homework.
So that is a test I plan on failing with flying colors. Who the hell is that?
Oh my gosh, I wish
I'll play it for you. You will enjoy it.
he's gonna hate it.
Thanks, man.
You've
I
heard it
appreciate
1,000 times.
All right, Derek, jump in. Who's your first concert you ever went to?
First show was Rush.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was strong.
That's good stuff right
Kid
there.
named Chris Robinson that was on the football team with me. I think I was a sophomore in high school. During practice, said, "Hey, I've got Rush tickets for tonight, but I don't have a way to get there, and we didn't drive yet." So bless my mother, she put us in the car, drove us to Brendan Byrne Arena, went to the show with us. Turns out Chris's dad was doing pretty good because our seats were not seats; they were like in a luxury box, and we were the only people in that box.
Nice.
So my guess is like Chris's dad was like a hedge fund manager, was like, no, I'm not going to Rush, and nobody's using the box, so go for it. So Judy, God bless her, sat there with us.
Do you remember the year?
Watched the show. It would have been like 85, 86, somewhere in there.
So like the Presto or
It was
something?
Time Stand Still
Time Stand
tour
Still. Yeah. Nice.
with that Amy Mann
Yep,
tune.
yep.
Incredible.
Did you know who Rush was going to the concert?
Yeah, but I wasn't a huge fan. Kind of like I did what Jeff did. Like they blew me away, and I went back and got all of it.
There was
really got into 'em.
zero women there, by the way, at that point in time.
No women. A bunch
at
of
all.
kids were super into Star Wars hanging out.
Right, a bunch of D&D players.
Yes.
And how long was your hair at the time?
I think I was like in the process of bringing a mullet in, but I don't know if it was fully cooked yet. I probably was doing like a Brian Bosworth thing at the time, probably pretty like flat top on the top and then like trying to create some flow in the back.
Can you send
That's a
me
good
that,
reference with the buzz.
Can you send me that good mullet picture so I can put it on the Instagram
I'd
account
be-
this
I'd
week
be-
because it'll be fitting for the topic.
I'd be
Awesome.
glad to. Let me just that mullet played then. I understand,
Yeah.
but I mean, give me a hard time
Dude,
about the
I
mullet.
can. My mom prohibited me from getting the Brian Bosworth. She wouldn't let me do it. So kudos to Judy.
So you wanted it?
Oh my! It was
Everybody
Yeah, I guess
wanted it.
everybody at the
If you
time.
go back to
Thank you, Crossy.
1985, Seattle Kingdom, Brian Bosworth, Oklahoma Sooners, and you didn't want that haircut, then shame on you, dude.
Yeah.
I think if you're our age and you didn't have at least one real bad childhood haircut,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you should have at least one where it's just like, oh God, what were we thinking?
Go
But
ahead,
I'm
Norm.
pretty
Go
sure
ahead, Norm.
I'm pretty sure you guys cut that Brian Bosworth off when he got his ass ran over by Bo Jackson in the end zone. On all ends there. Hey, it was all fun and games until you get trucked in the end zone.
True that.
Bo knows Boz.
Brian, chime in.
So I share with you guys that I grew up around, made a lot of moves in my life. My very first concert, we were outside of Kansas City. I must have been third, fourth grade, was Michael Jackson.
What?
And I had the Thriller album, the Thriller record, and I think I had a Fisher Price record player, like the starter record player.
Did
First
you go
show,
to the Victory Tour? Or not the Victory. What was that? It wasn't the Victory Tour. That was after.
yeah. And the cool thing is,
Was it a victory after he got acquitted?
Stop.
that's another episode. But the
too
cool
soon.
thing,
Too soon.
the full circle of life. My little girl now, like coming here today, Karis from the back seat. Hey, can we listen to Michael Jackson? So full circle. So that was my first show. Was Michael Jackson.
Amazing.
One of my very first memorable shows was with my then girlfriend, Kendra Knotts. We were living in Chicago. This was our third concert together. It was the very first concert at Wrigley Field. And that was none other than Jimmy Buffett.
Oh.
Nice.
And
God,
seeing
that
Jimmy at
would've been
Wrigley
amazing.
was like going to church. And it was months after Katrina happened. And so Jimmy had a New Orleans shirt on. And Jimmy always rocked the wristbands, which is the inspiration why I rock those wristbands today. But Jimmy sat in the center field bleachers and played City of New Orleans, Arlo Guthrie, which was just perfect. So those are two first concert memories for me.
Your first concert was Michael Jackson.
Bingo.
Where in what venue?
So this would have been in Kansas City. I don't know if it was an indoor or outdoor amphitheater.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it had to be an indoor arena, but yeah, Kansas City, Michael Jackson.
Holy cow!
I had the Thriller album. If you open up the Thriller album, you know he's holding that little tiger.
White
yeah.
Tiger.
Unbelievable.
Was that like Kemper
All
Arena?
right.
Maybe.
Well,
Where the Kansas
now,
City-
now everyone brace themselves.
No, it's
Mr. Norm Turner.
It's really, really one of the greatest, just personal moments for me. So the year is 1994. I'm gonna kind of set a stage for you. It's year's 1994. I grew up in a house with musicians. Everybody played something. I played drums, not very good. My dad was in a band, played the trumpet, saxophone, sang. Their band battled the Commodores, beat them in Tuskegee. In the
That is
in the
another podcast.
well before they were somebody, the Commodores. So just kind of set the stage, right? Like I grew up in this house where it was people playing music all the time. A jam session would break out anytime. So it's 1994. In Birmingham, Alabama, there's a concert or a weekend festival. Used to happen every year, 1990 to 2009. It was called City Stages. City Stages was Friday, Friday afternoons, starting at 3 till whenever, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. They had multiple stages. They had the Coca-Cola stage, the Budweiser stage, the Miller Lite stage. So the predominantly black artists always performed on the Coca-Cola stage. And your really loud, your rock and roll, the big name countries always performed on the Miller Lite stage. This one particular year, I was with my parents. We went to see B.B. King.
Wow.
And again, now I'm listening. I need you guys to understand. I've been listening to this guy for years, just, him and Lucille giving somebody literally the blues, right? And I'm like, man, this is pretty wild. And I get to see Lucille in person in the hands of B.B. King. And, he's playing The Thrill Is Gone. And I'm a kid. I'm just like, man, this is crazy. My dad's there, and it's just like, man, this is
had heard him a bunch on records and at home,
man,
and just
that was the sound.
You knew every word of every song.
Oh yeah, BB was a guy you heard in my aunt's house, my uncle's house. Like that was the guy you heard, and I got to see him firsthand at city stages. And years go on, I saw a lot of fantastic bands at city stages. People I probably would have never went to go see, but I saw them in a festival environment. That was fantastic. I hate that ended.
That's amazing.
Was he kind of towards the end of his career right then?
So it's like 94.
not really.
Not
really.
Yeah, he still had some stuff. I mean, he hadn't even really got dialed in with John Mayer, and they did their little thing. And, so to see him live and to be whipping Lucille on stage was fantastic.
That's special. Do we know if City Stages is still going on, that festival?
So it ended in 2009. And
it ended.
Yeah, and I just it got so big. You know how sometimes things just grow so big. They got out of control. It was just too much.
Yeah.
And they, a year after year, you're trying to up the previous year, and it's like, man, if you can't get a Michael Jackson or those sorts, but the year Outkast was there, I had an afro with blonde tips. My wife and I were dating at the time, and I loved to wear cut-off mechanic shirts with somebody's random name on there, right?
Pete.
That was my thing. Yeah, Pete, Tony, Josh, Toyota.
Josh.
Right? And I'd go to the thrift store and buy these things. That was one of the greatest nights of my life with my blonde tips on my afro.
I think I love that more. Just the outfits. I love that more than the actual concerts.
It was as Rick James, I never used any cocaine of any sort, but he did say cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Let's swing the attention over here to Mr. Campbell Cox. Your first concert, my friend.
Am I allowed to pass?
No.
No. Come on, there's no embarrassment.
Did you do your homework?
First round.
I said Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers, Metallica, Jethro Tull, Rush, Michael Jackson, B.B. King.
Where are we going? Hold on.
just
So yours was like
make something
Olivia
up.
Newton-John.
Like, say the Beatles. Just say
No,
something.
it's going to be like,
Lawrence Welk.
that's pretty impressive, though.
Hey,
I mean, but he's at least
don't
like,
put shade on Lawrence Welk. I
cool.
played the accordion.
I mean, it's
Again,
awful.
Campbell, just do it.
Hey,
Just do it.
We said this was a judge-free zone, so
Okay.
this is not a
Go
competition.
for it.
Go for it.
Donnie Marie Osmond.
N-K-O.
TB?
Oh, New
No.
Kids on the Block,
B.
baby. Let's go.
I
New
love it.
Kids on the block.
Dude.
What
I
mall?
would've
What
loved
mall
that.
were you at?
we were at the it wasn't Wolf Trap, which is up in
Yes,
DC,
DC.
and Nissan Pavilion was Northern Virginia, but
Yep.
it was the oh my gosh, all my twos of fans that are listening to this. It was the outdoor amphitheater of Northern Maryland.
Who took you?
Meriwether?
Yeah, Meriwether Post Pavilion.
That's Columbia, Maryland.
Yep,
That's right.
Meriwether Post Pavilion.
And that's that's a great venue, by the way. If
Yeah,
you've
it
never
is.
been,
It's a cool venue.
there, it is fantastic.
Yeah, and the opening act was Tiffany.
Who took you?
Michelle would be so
I mean, like a
jealous.
Well, we were in middle
I
school.
really am
It was
jealous.
1988.
I am too.
I was like 12 or
That's a
13
banger
years
of a
old.
show.
And some parent took us.
Was Tiffany alone again?
I think you're alone now. Doesn't even be anyone around.
We should get Tiffany
Awesome.
on as a guest.
Awesome. It would
Hey,
be,
Campbell,
Yeah.
I'll be transparent. I thought you were going to say your sister had taken you, and you just kind of tagged along with her, but
Yeah.
that's not the case.
No, he just owns it.
Because that would have been
He was
cool.
he was
That
left
would've
in
been
the. She was like, "Hey Campbell, you wait here in the car.
cool. Yeah.
We'll be back."
Yeah, exactly. I missed my first cool opportunity because she made me
amazing.
stay in the car.
No, Katie's a friend of the pod. She would straighten that out in a hurry.
Awesome. Good round, boys. Good round.
That is a good one.
Love it.
Transitioning into this is a big one.
Yeah. It's a tough
If you
one.
were stranded on a desert island, what 5 albums would you take with you? Doesn't have to be 5.
It has to be 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've got 5.
That's the whole. That's the whole thing,
We
right?
live in
So
a society
5.
with rules.
You're stuck with it for
Yep.
the rest of your life. No
right.
skipping. Every album counts.
Let's-
That's the hard part.
You-
And let this be said, right? Like my today list of this is going to change. That's the concept of this conversation because you've had it a million times in a bar, and it changes all the time. So my 5 today might not be my 5 tomorrow.
That's true. I
But
came
if
up with
that
mine-
Were to happen, this is what I had to come up with.
Yeah, I
today.
came up with mine like 1 minute before the podcast. Let's go in reverse order. Norm, let's start with you.
Okay, so this was a pretty difficult task for me.
It is.
I'll just be real transparent. So I start number 1, Wu-Tang 36 Chambers.
From the top
Wu-Tang
ropes.
Clan ain't nothing to, with.
And Protect Your Neck is the greatest hip hop song ever made. And I will argue with you. I will take you to the street. We can pull knives out like Gangs of New York and let's get it. Like, I dare somebody tell me Protect Your Neck ain't the best.
Look, and it's conversational because Wu-Tang's going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. So,
Right. So
let that be said.
Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. Next, Alabama Christmas.
Wow.
It is one of my favorite albums. Christmas in Dixie by Alabama is one of my favorite songs. And the album itself is fantastic. It reminds me of my mother-in-law, who is a massive Alabama fan. Shout out to Liz. Hey, she put me on that, and I can't start Christmas off without Christmas in Dixie. So just in case I'm on the island for multiple weeks,
You will be.
I will be.
Yep.
I can at least
You
enjoy
celebrate
Christmas.
Christmas. That's a great point.
Third, Steely Dan Citizen album, which celebrated albums from 1972 to 1980. Okay, so this is a compilation album. This was a release. So I went back and forth because I was like, man, I have a hard time doing a compilation. But this was an album that was released that had literally Steely Dan's greatest hits ever. Okay, now we've talked about, and we've had some arguments about this next one. But when I think about if I'm trying to navigate day to day on an island, right? And, this Michael Jackson movie just came out, and some people are, some of the folks in the pod have gone to see it. I'm like, I'm not going to see it. I lived it. I don't need to go see it. I lived Michael Jackson. But I don't think I could be on that island without being able to listen to a little Thriller. Without a
100.
doubt.
100.
Only to navigate, because that album from A side to B side is spot on. Actually,
Masterpiece.
fantastic, right?
Masterpiece.
Turn it on today.
I actually prefer Off the Wall.
Now, there and
I
there's
can't
some
fault you, but
and I can't either, because there's some good melodies that were inside on that Off the Wall record, but there was, I think, the personal attachment to Thriller, and it makes me remember cleaning the house with my mom and all that kind of stuff. So to help me navigate a desert island place, it would be Thriller. And lastly, there's only one. Drapetomania by the Green Seed. So the Green Seed is my brother's hip hop group. This
Amazing.
album was by far the greatest album that I watched be created. I sat in the studio. I watched my brother make these beats. I watched him play the instruments. I saw this happen in real freaking time. And I think about being stranded on an island. Who's the one voice I need to hear? And that's Artiste, a.k.a. Randall Turner
That's
of the
amazing.
Green Seed. And that album, Drapetomania, and if you don't know what Drapetomania means, it was a psychological conditions that enslaved people had during slavery that they would not run away because they had been diagnosed with Drapetomania. That album, and I get pumped up thinking about it, watching him. It's fantastic. So that's my 5, and that's my why.
That's good stuff.
Man.
That's good stuff
job,
right
man.
there.
To go from Wu-Tang to Alabama, that speaks to your range and your passion for a broad spectrum of tunes.
It's good stuff, man. You know, and it's and to know, you know, being from the great state of Alabama, despite their ignorance at times. My mother-in-law lives in Gunnersville, Alabama, and those Alabama boys ran back and forth that Georgia-Alabama line. She saw them many times. My father-in-law, Doug, shout out Doug, love you, man. Despite some of your thinking, I love you though. You actually got to see those guys in real time, and it's just fantastic. So I appreciate that.
That's a strong finish, dude. Yeah, he's got him. The dogs, I always love interjecting. The dogs have gotten loose. Dogs. And Norm, thank you for that, man. I think your brother's album shout out, man. I was getting major goosebumps there.
You got
100%.
Appreciate you sharing that.
100% there.
Derek and I looked at
You got
each other
me.
and kind of went wide-eyed on that.
Yeah, you got me.
Kind of felt like we were in the studio experiencing that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
sure.
a hell of an experience, and I appreciate him allowing me to be in that, to see him do that process with those guys. It was fantastic.
Brian Foose, one that I've been looking forward to hearing. Come on, bring us in.
All right, so top 5 is a very difficult. It's a very difficult topic. It's like picking your favorite kid, right? So I put a little thought into this. I'm going to start off with Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street, released in 1972. So fun fact, I don't do public math on a holiday Monday here.
No.
But the Stones just released a new album, right? And
Is it released yet? I thought they were recording.
yeah, we
it.
listened to it on the way here.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's about 50 years. So Exile, I'm going to read off the first 4 songs. We'll go 5. So it starts off, Rocks Off, Rip This Joint, Shake Your Hips, incredible, Casino Boogie, and then Tumbling Dice. So that's going to be my first one. Number 2 is going to be A Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory.
Norm, contain yourself.
That's a great choice. Oh my God.
It was between that
It's
and Norm's
timeless.
brother
It's
on
great.
his 5th.
It's great.
It's timeless. Number 3 on my list is Allman Brothers, Eat a Peach. So you got Melissa on that album. You've got one of the best kept secrets. If you ever find yourself at a bar that's got a great jukebox, you remember you used to feed that jukebox money, so you want to get your most bang for your buck. You want to find a long song. Eat a Peach, Mountain Jam is about a 33-minute song. So if you ever find yourself in front of a jukebox and you want to dominate that place,
Yeah, I was gonna say. Or
you got
piss
30.
everyone
You got
off.
33 minutes of song for 50 cents.
That's amazing.
So I got Tribe, I got Stones, I got Allman Brothers. I've got Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys.
Oh, there's some controversy brewing. I love
That's
that
up
record.
there, and I had to pick one from this band, and I got a great story I just learned this weekend about this band. I'll share after the pod. Pearl Jam, Vitalogy, right? So you can go 10, right? That's the big one. That's the first one. But Vitalogy, and I got a bonus one here since this is a live album. It doesn't I don't know if I consider concert albums traditional albums.
I've got them on my list. So,
But this is a traditional release, and this would be Mr. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Live Bullet,
yeah,
double disc.
Great record.
Can
You might, if you were getting rescued, you might turn down rescue and be like, you know what, I'm just going to stay here on this island and keep listening.
So, hang tight before we switch over to Derek. You're wearing a Pearl Jam T-shirt. Just walk us through Vitalogy versus. I mean, I want to hear your reasons around that one.
Yeah, so the shirt I'm wearing is a concert shirt. This is 2024, Labor Day weekend. My beautiful wife and I went to Chicago to see Pearl Jam play at Wrigley Field. So I think for me, if I just kind of differentiate those two albums, Vitalogy, a bigger range, not as many like heavy bangers. You got some stripped down acoustic stuff. You got Better Man. You got weird song. What's that one? Bugs. I got bugs in my bed. I got
Yeah. It's a quirky.
There's some quirkiness.
Yep.
There's some quirkiness to that album, but it's pure. It's smooth, and if you're on an island, that's one to bring with you.
Cool. Awesome.
Wow.
Man, this guys.
You just made me like question my list, which that's the problem with this thing.
You said it on the outset
Well,
that it would
and-
your list would change tomorrow, Jeff.
It's almost changed now. So
Yeah.
Well, change it. Derek, jump in here. I cannot wait.
I think some of these are pretty predictable. I also have a live record on here. I have.
Yep.
This is a conversation we'll have to have over some beers sometime because I have a story that sort of like
me
goes
too.
to all of this.
Every one of them. Me too. Me too.
So the first record is High Top Mountain by Sturgill Simpson.
nice.
Quick story: Harris Teeter parking lot, like 2009, 10, somewhere there. My brother's visiting. My brother Kevin is like my musical Yoda.
He's your musical guru.
He has always been. Hands me his phone, and it's a video of Sturgill playing "You Can Have the Crown" in the Sun King Brewery in Memphis. And I was like,
Indianapolis.
I go, this is our Waylon Jennings. I just looked at our Waylon Jennings. So that Sturgill is my guy. Going to see Sturgill this year for the God knows how many times. Second one is Jason Isbell, Southeastern. That was really the breakout record that had all of the bangers that he had kind of gotten his life together and got squared away and gotten out of the drive-by truckers. And Norm, what you got?
That is a fantastic dude, Jason Isbell. Just enough said. For me, I'll shut up.
Yep.
No, it's okay. Jump in.
I love that. My live record is Eagles Live.
Hell Freezes Over.
Nope.
No,
just
Eagles
the
Live. That's from like
Live.
77 or something.
Released in 1980, recorded I think in 77 at the Forum in Los Angeles.
Amazing record.
When you listen to it, you can smell weed. It's incredible. It's like a scratch and sniff record.
Amazing.
That record, I went to Joe Namath football camp, and the night before I went to camp, I had a party which was a bunch of boys and girls, teenage, semi-curious kids about, making out and stuff in the basement of my house, and had a wonderful life experience. And then went to this camp, and there was this team from Boston, and they had a boombox. They had their quarterback walked around with a boombox on his shoulder, and they were blasting the Eagles Live, and I befriended those guys and became buddies with them and just fell in love with that record.
Brian.
Amazing.
The next one is REM Document.
Okay.
So
Mike Thomas is gonna be so happy.
he loves
Yes,
that. He
he
loves
will.
that record too. It really was my kind of introduction to alternative music. Again, somebody else sort of turned me on to the genre. Where I lived, you listened to Zeppelin, you listened to Motley Crue, you listened to the Allman Brothers, and if you didn't listen to like rock and roll, you were a P word, and that's it. I'm trying to keep it clean here for the kids. But
I got you. I got you, Norm.
and I remember going back with this cassette that I bought in New London, Connecticut, when I visited my sister-in-law's brother at Connecticut College. I learned a lot of stuff that weekend. But going back and playing that cassette for my friends, and they were like, what is this bullshit? And then like 3 years later, we're in college. I'm in the Townie bar, and one of the guys who had given me the most grief was wearing an REM t-shirt because REM had then become the biggest band in the world. And so this kid went off to college and discovered what I was fortunate enough to discover 3 years earlier. And then the next one, and I will fight someone in an alley over this record. It is a no-skip, start-to-finish masterpiece. Counting Crows, August, and Everything After.
Oh,
Jeez. REM and Counting Crows out of Derek.
I don't
It's
know.
okay. I
don't know.
I love that album also.
We can't be judging.
So
we
Not
can't
judging,
be judgy.
not
It's hard
judging.
to be hard not to be judgy. I got a question for you. So let's go back to that REM. I never really got into REM, but the friends I had in college that listened to REM, my roommate in particular, who's one of my greatest friends today, he learned REM from his older brother. And I felt like if you were an REM fan, you were also into maybe The Cure, Morrissey. There was a couple other bands. It was like, it's a no-brainer.
Depeche Mode.
Yes, if you like this, you might like that.
Yeah, alternative radio stations were playing all that stuff together. So I bought 2 cassettes that weekend with the money my mom gave me for food, probably. I bought REM Document, and I bought Echo and the Bunnymen, Songs to Learn and Sing.
Yeah.
And then I got turned on to alternative music. Where I lived, you couldn't find alternative music. But I was fortunate. I ended up like having a girlfriend who lived south of where I lived, where she could get a radio station from Long Island that played. It was like the LIU's like college station, and they would play all the alternative music. So she would record just like an hour and a half of the radio for me every week. And then when I would see her on the weekend, she would bring me that cassette. So I learned about Love and Rockets and the Smiths and Morrissey and all those bands, Susie and the Banshees, all that stuff through those cassettes.
And the word you use there that a lot of our younger listeners might not be familiar with is cassette.
Hey, everybody
yeah,
here.
Karis is going to struggle with that one.
Yeah.
Everybody here.
Karis likes records, so she's on that train.
Everybody here at some point had their setup, and they had play,
Oh, God.
record, and
Oh,
pause.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they were
Absolutely.
listening for the song they wanted to record off the radio, and would
Yes.
sprint like from the
Yes.
bathroom
Casey Kasem,
to hit
baby.
that
Yeah.
pause button.
And the thing that would really grinded my gears, because I was that kid just like you described, playing record. You're going through the top 20, and you'd have that one DJ that just loved to hear his voice. The music is playing.
Oh, they hit the post.
But he's talking right before
They call it hitting the post.
first word. I'm like, dude, shut your mouth and play the song.
Look, as a
Please.
broadcast journalism major early on in my schooling, that was called hitting the post, and that was what you wanted to do. So the post is when the first lyrics drop. So you need to
They
know
all did
every
it.
song.
They did
and
it.
when that lyric would come in, and you wanted to hit the post every single time.
They
and you
all
were
did it.
judged on that.
And keep going on that real quick. Kyle, we're going to get to
That's
you in
all
a second.
there is to it.
So because you wanted to talk
Keep
and
people listening.
keep people engaged.
Yep.
Cool.
Hit the
It's the
post.
top of the hour. It's 6:02 p.m. It's 83 degrees, and you're in Gainesville, Florida. And we're getting ready to hear this new song by Hootie and the Blowfish. Here's "Hold Your Hand," and Derry starts singing.
Hold my hand.
It's only
Hey,
been
how it
Derek,
goes.
I am gonna
So
say
good, Jeffrey.
it's
I'm
never
gonna,
been 83
I'm gonna say that
degrees
2
in
of those
Gainesville.
did surprise me. 2 of those definitely
Oh,
surprised me. Out of
easily.
you.
I have
What-
3 that were
definitely.
shockers.
What surprised you?
I don't know. I just didn't think REM and
Definitely no REM.
and your last one.
Yeah,
Counting
Yeah,
Crows.
I didn't think those were coming. Didn't think those were coming.
Hey, wasn't that
Kyle?
Counting Crows we saw at the Red Hat?
Brutal.
Oh my God.
And
Oh,
how does
yes,
that
I did.
I heard it was not enjoyable.
I saw them the year before in Maine at an amazing venue called Thompson's Point, and they were fantastic. And Norman and I were at the Counting Crows show. I texted my nephew with whom I'd seen them the year before and was like, was I drunk or was the show we saw great? And he's like, no, man, it was great. I'm like, I don't know what
Yeah,
happened in a year,
aging
man.
is a bitch, man.
They had a tough year.
Kyle, looking forward to your top 5 albums. If Stranded
All
on a
right.
Desert album.
I definitely did
Desert.
some homework on this, and it has changed. And it's actually even changed during this podcast, only because someone took mine. So my number one will always be Tool, and it's Anima.
Angry. Angry.
So Stinkfist, 46 and 2, just absolutely amazing. My second was going to be 36 Chambers, But Mr. Norman already stole that.
But there's nothing to steal. This is you on an island by yourself.
I
Norm's
get that,
not there
but,
with you.
Well, yeah, I get that. But then I started thinking about some of the other ones that I might want. And then it was going off of the Beastie Boys. And it was, for me, I'd pick License to Ill. And then...
We can have that conversation another time, Norm.
So then for 3, I would do... And this is a hard one because it's Black Crowes. So it's either Shake Your Moneymaker...
Southern.
Or I would do Southern Harmony, Musical Companion.
Great record.
Yes.
But you got to pick one. Sorry, you don't get to pick one of them.
Then probably Southern Harmony.
Which song?
All of them.
Out of the
No,
record,
it's
what's
the
your
whole
favorite?
album.
But
Remedy.
and I'm just asking,
Just
just
Remedy.
Remedy.
Yeah, let's just do Remedy.
Bad Like Blue Eyes Goodbye.
Dude, they're all great. So going from there, and then this will just make my wife so happy. I really enjoy Traveler from Stapleton.
Oh,
That entire
fantastic.
album. That entire album
Thank
is
you.
You cannot lose.
fantastic.
For the listeners, Kyle's wife, Tony, has this hate, or I don't even know what it is, but for Chris
no one can
Stapleton
figure it
and
out.
for Prince, which is just the most baffling thing on the planet.
Exactly, and Prince actually, like, so Purple Rain was on the list, but I had to take it off to get others in. But also, like, Enter the Woo, I mean, that was like, that's why they all got like individual contracts. It was just off of that record.
It's great.
It's amazing. And then I went with 5. I had to scratch out 1, which would make sense because y'all said live albums. So I'm going 5. I'm going Radiohead, OK Computer.
Oh,
Fantastic
Incredible.
album through and through. And then for the live album, I'm going with Need to Breathe and the live at Bridgestone
Yeah.
Arena.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you want a concert experience, you can watch it on YouTube anytime, but it's a full-on experience and it's all their best stuff and it's just the production value is amazing. So there are my 5.
That's a great 5, Kyle. I think of Chris Stapleton and Traveler. I believe what he credits to the massive success of that album and his career was the performance he had with Justin Timberlake at the Country Music
Yes.
Award show.
Crazy.
It was like a 7.5-minute performance. Chris Stapleton, that he dropped that album shortly after that performance, and we all know how great that performance was.
Yes.
It was like the
Fantastic.
longest
Say
performance
something.
in
Say
live
something.
award show history.
Hey, I will say something that I have said for a while now. When Andrew was a baby, we had watched the CMAs that year, and he's a baby. We're trying to get the poops out. It's a baby, so we're just
Like you're shaking the baby.
yeah. We're like well, he's on my chest looking at the TV, and just trying to keep him calm because he was crying. And so just flipping around TV, and then we ran on the CMAs, and it happened to be
And he
Luke
pooped on your
Bryan's. He probably did, but it was Luke Bryan's performance of "Drink a Beer," and we sat through that whole thing, and he just got silent and just watched and loved it, and it was my favorite rendition. And then I got Luke Bryan's album because of that, and then I would always listen to "Drink a Beer." And I was like, it doesn't hit the same.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
live version was so much better.
Yeah.
And then years later, Chris Stapleton comes out, found out he wrote it, and then I went
Bingo.
back and watched it.
And he's there.
It's Chris Stapleton in the background
Yes.
doing the harmony.
Incredible.
And that's
Yes.
the reason that
Yes.
song was so amazing.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I love that. That's a great list. Definitely better than Derek's.
That's,
think we need to-
that is fantastic.
This is not the
and,
point of the conversation.
Haters gonna hate.
And just a quick hot take, and this is something we can do at a later date.
We're doing it right
you
now.
mentioned the 36 Chambers, the greatest year of hip hop in the history of the world,
Okay.
1993. If you go back and you look at the albums that were produced and released
Yep.
in 1993, fantastic. So then you even dig a little deeper.
Did you have
and
the
look
Chronic? You had the Chronic in
at-
'93.
had the Chronic.
We
Every-
did this out back one night. Norm said it, and I was like, "Man, come on!"
I don't.
And then
mean,
we actually
come on, man.
dug into it.
Yeah. If
It's
you dig
scary.
into it,
It's
everything.
scary, dude.
It's
It's scary.
everything.
He's got a valid point.
Yeah.
We need to do a podcast where we invite like a selective group on here, and we call it "Explain Yourself." And I need
Yeah.
Tony on here to explain yourself
Oh,
why
dude,
you don't
she-
like Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Hey,
It makes sense to
And
no one.
We'll get the ladies on here.
Hey, but again, that's the whole reason I had to actually, because I took other things off the list. I had Prince Purple Rain album on there also,
Yeah.
but I replaced
Yeah,
it.
but
It was like a
she's not
top
on the,
10.
But
I
she's
can't
not
do
on
that.
the out on the desert island with you.
No, I know that, but I kept thinking of better things, but just after a long while, you just think about it. And it's like, I just won't piss her off that much. At least I got Chris Stapleton on the top 5.
Hey, you're not the.
So funny.
She's the problem.
Yeah.
I adore your wife, but she is ear stupid.
Yeah. She's got horrible taste in music.
She has garbage ears.
Oh,
From
Tony,
Derek.
please don't listen to this episode. All right, Jeff.
All right.
Top 5, buddy.
So, a couple of them are easy. A couple of them are real hard. So, Eagles Greatest Hits Volume 2. Easy. Top selling record of all time. One
No
or
argument.
two. I love the Eagles. They're a top 3 band for me, and I always have been.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Life in the Fast Lane. New Kid in Town.
Life in
Hotel
the Fast
California. I mean,
Lane.
it just goes on. Like, all the hits are there. And I love Eagles records, but like if I'm stranded on a desert island, I'm going to take the hits. I love some deep cuts, but you know what? That's a great record. 2, I'm a big Dave Matthews Band fan. Kind of waned off now in my lifetime, but has a lot of special memory for me. If I had to pick a live record by them, it would probably be Live in Chicago. It was recorded in 98 or 97. It was on their Before These Crowded Streets run. And it's just a great record. There's some great jams on it. I got to have Dave Matthews if I'm on a desert island, and these are the last 5 records I'm ever going to listen to. John Mayer live in L.A.
Oh, come on.
It covers the gamut. It's on the Continuum record
not
run.
see that coming.
They got the John Mayer trio. He's the John Mayer acoustic stuff, and
I
then he
think your
goes into
seat's
the
on
Continuum
fire.
stuff. It's just an amazing
Johnny makes me,
live record.
It just makes
We've
you
talked
holler
about
a little
this.
bit, man.
And
I'm
then
sorry, you
Anyone-
did it. You got me pumped up. I was tending
it's
to my
so
business.
good, so good.
Anyone that like can land Jennifer Aniston.
Well, I mean, his
Oh,
list of
just.
accomplishments can be talked about on another episode. But
His
like
top 5 is
They are.
unbelievable.
that,
They are.
I mean,
Really?
listen to Belief from that record. So great. Anyway, I'm getting chills as we speak. Number 4, Thriller. I'm a Michael Jackson kid. I grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, you are.
There's nothing like Thriller. Thriller, I mean, from front to back, Quincy Jones, Toto, like that record,
Pinnacle.
Eddie Van Halen, mwah, chef's kiss. My number 5 is kind of difficult, right? I'm a kid of the 80s. I grew up in the heavy metal world, but I'm also a kid of the 80s from a hip-hop perspective. I had one written down here that I can say after the fact, but I think I've switched it because I don't want to not have some beats in my collection sitting on an island. And then I started thinking about like what record? What's the most meaningful record? And going down the hip hop world, like I don't even know where to start there. But like there's Tribe, there's the Beasties, there's Dre. I was a big Dre fan. But then like it kind of popped in my head, and Jurassic 5, Quality Control.
Oh, damn.
I love that record.
J5.
Like I think
God, that's
Jurassic
so
5 is one of the
good.
most. We can add this to the underrated
Yeah.
list. Like
Dude,
I think they're one of the most underrated rap groups
Yeah.
or hip hop
Dude,
groups of
take
all
that
time.
to your underrated. J5,
Like they were
amazing.
underground hip hop in LA, and like it's just great. It's just fantastic. So that's
was
my
a
top 5.
crowd
That's
pleaser.
That's incredible.
Like that changes my shit.
Yeah,
That
was a
that's really
crowd
great.
pleaser.
So I originally had Master of Puppets by Metallica on there just because I'm a Metallica kid, right? Like, but I can't imagine being on a deserted island without having.
Yeah, you need some
hip-hop.
beats. You need some
I do.
hip hop. You're
I do.
flexing your range.
because I love hip hop.
You're flexing your range
deep
here,
on hip hop.
Jeffrey.
So anyway, that's my 5, and I'm sticking with it for today.
Comments?
Ask me tomorrow.
Brian needs a
Yeah, so I'm going a couple common themes I'm hearing,
I still have to go.
and we haven't. I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna save my comments until we hear your 5.
Okay. I'm going to go fairly quick, and all of mine have a significant meaning in my life stage. Okay? I'm going to kind of rattle through mine fairly quickly just so that we can get into a little bit of discussion.
Campbell has to get to dinner.
No, well, no, not yet. Garth Brooks, No Fences.
Okay, love it.
Is that the blue? Is that
Thunder
he's got a
Rolls.
black hat on it? That's not the. I'm trying to picture the album.
Yeah,
cover.
it's like a
black
blue, it's
and
like a
white.
blue and black theme.
That's
blue
not
and
the
black.
red and the checkerboard. That was
no.
a different one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm tracking.
Garth Brooks, No Fences. I mean, and that's Friends with Low Places. That's Thunder Rolls. That's Rodeo. That's all those. Highwaymen.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm down with that.
Oh my god.
I hear you.
Now,
Oh.
What?
can I give the quick? This is
Please.
the only one that has like a
What?
really, really, really good story behind it. We were leaving Fort Lewis, Washington. My dad was a battalion commander out there, and we were leaving to move back to the East Coast to the Pentagon. And my dad looked at me and said, "Son, you're in charge of the music." I said, "Okay." So I went, and that was back when we had cassettes. So I gathered a little 12, because you guys remember the little zip,
Oh my
like they
God.
that, like you could fit like little 12 cassettes in
yeah.
there.
Max L.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
And I packed up this little cassette, Lionel Richie, Garth Brooks, Highwaymen, whatever, and I put it on, and I sat it on the steps, and the movers
Packed it.
grabbed it and put it in a box.
Son of a.
So we get in the car, and we're 10 minutes down the road. My dad says, "Hey, get out the what are we listening to? This is a long journey, son. What are we listening to?" And I said, "Dad, I think they grabbed the music." And he said, "Okay." Well, the only thing that was in the cassette player in the car
No
was
way.
the Highwayman album. And we oh yeah, if my dad was in, and we listened to it from coast to coast.
I was a highwayman.
That's amazing.
On the coach roads I did ride, with sword and pistol by my side. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so Highwaymen is number 2. And I got to say, I was up in my room a lot as a teenager by myself, figuring out how to rebel
Okay.
with the people downstairs. So I was listening quietly to Beastie Boys' License to Ill.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so that's number 3. High school, I hung out with a little bit of an alternative group of buddies. And to this day, like, still very dear friends of ours. And U2's Zooropa album
Oh,
was
wow.
I know. You know what, though, Jeff?
Sneaky
It could have
good.
easily
Sneaky
been.
good.
It could have easily been a Dave Matthews insert there. Easily. But U2's Zooropa
Zeropa, yeah, that's a deep cut.
was like a it was a
Yeah.
it was a something that was like very meaningful
Yep.
at that time in my life.
Yeah.
And then the last one, as an adult, I've just tried to chill out more, and I'm just loving like the beach alternatives, and Stick Figures Set in Stone is one of my So I've kind of gone
All over the place.
I've kind of gone youth through adult. Like you guys all kind of stuck in your like
Yeah.
high school
Yeah,
early,
yeah, yeah.
maybe college
The
early.
Time is frozen.
Yeah, so
The funny
anyway.
thing, there's a funny story there. Like psychologically, they say like that your musical background develops hardcore around like 13 to 15 years old, right? And you might drift, but those core foundation records will stay with you for quite some time.
I'm going to dig into this Stick Figures thing because I've never heard of them. So I'm excited about, and believe it or
Awesome.
not, you all have given me a lot of good music to listen to this week because there's some things that I forgot about.
Yeah.
There's some things that I'm like, man, I never heard of them.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked about my
Nice.
listening this week.
Yeah. We're set.
We should publish this list in the notes
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
so
We'll
that
figure it
people
out.
can link to Spotify or Apple or whatever they use.
Brian, sounds like you wanted to open a little dialogue around what we just talked about for a second. No? You good?
I got a couple questions. There was a common theme by many for hip hop, right? So Beastie Boys. Jeff, you're a big Beastie fan.
Yep.
So your love for Beasties, the people you were around, what
Yep.
shaped you to get into that kind of music?
Yep.
What was that like?
So, as a kid that was growing up in Massachusetts, when the Beastie Boys came on my radar, it was my introduction. Well, I mean, you could probably say that like breaking The movie was like my introduction to real hip hop, but like from a like radio friendly consumer perspective, like the Beastie Boys, and then that led me to Run DMC and all the stuff that Rick Rubin was doing.
Right.
And then that kind of opened my door. You know, I was always into that. You know, I got into that culture in breakdancing. You know, I've got a license plate on my scooter that says Black Magic because I was trying to break dance back in the day to break in and what was the other breakdance movie? What was the better breakdance movie?
Break something dancing.
Yes.
Breaking was the
No,
best.
there was
another one.
No, yeah, there was.
There was only breaking.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't it
no.
called just breaking?
No, there was
Only
another one
breaking.
though.
Then break into
Turbo.
Electric Boogaloo.
No, but there was another one.
Was breaking. Turbo.
I'm so glad you outed yourself as
I
Black
don't care.
Magic because I was gonna have to do it. I'm glad I did.
But I, you know, like as somebody who grew up on Motown, like that music spoke to me, and I was obviously a white kid in Massachusetts who had to get that through my lane the way that it happened. But as soon as I found out about it and started investigating other stuff in that genre, is when I kind of went down the road into hip hop. But Beastie Boys was definitely the opening to that avenue for me, thankfully, which led me to, you know, my love of hip hop and
Street.
Beat Street.
Beat Street.
Yeah. Beat Street, the king of the beat. You gotta rockin' that beat from across the street.
Whoa.
Sucker, Beat Street is a lesson too. You can't let the street beat you. Yeah. So, but you know, we'll do another hip hop show down the road.
But this I love this topic because it's a little time machine here. Through each of these stories you guys all told, I was in the car making the drive with the Cox family. I could picture myself sitting next to Norm in that studio. I can definitely picture you being inspired by Beasties while you're still trying to figure out Judas Priest and then going to Metallica show and everything else. Your love for a lot of stuff, Kyle, is very similar to mine. But Derek, your list is unique to me. I would not have had Counting Crows on that list for Derek.
No, me neither. No.
So I
chance.
think I'm gonna be honest with you, Foose. I think there's some Counting Crows history in there that maybe we haven't tapped into with Derek.
That's actually the one with not that much history. That record just dropped at a time. I guess I was probably, I don't know what year that record dropped. I guess I was out of college.
93,
or
93,
Yeah,
94,
so
95.
I was like still
Another
in college.
great year at 93.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still in college. That record drops. It's different than everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, we're coming right through the heart of grunge,
Yeah.
and that's a very different. That's like a sad guy singing sad
but
songs.
It was
Yeah.
also that time where like Hootie came around. There was like this songwriter pop music that came around. It was like Matchbox 20 and Hootie and
Yeah.
like Counting Crows and
Right.
Gin Blossoms,
Blues Traveler.
and like all that stuff started
Yeah.
coming out.
But also, everyone on my list, it was a very meaningful moment in time, and it obviously, I mean, with Counting Crows, there was,
Yeah.
I mean, that was a powerful. You wouldn't have named Counting Crows if something then wasn't like, man, I love these guys.
It's a feeling.
And you were feeling them.
Yeah, there's no specific memory tied to that as opposed to the other 4 records on that list. But I just, with music especially, I'm very much a lyrics guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to the words first. I hear the music, but if I don't love your lead singer's voice and I don't love what they're saying, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I just really dialed. I love Adam Duritz's voice. I love the lyrics. I mean, he's writing poetry more than he's writing songs, and he talks about that.
Which is what you say about Isbell
Yeah, I mean Isbell
and Sturgill.
and we all, like 3 of us, right? It's sitting around here have John Mayer, like unreasonable John Mayer crushes.
Oh.
And Mayer said of Isbell, he lives in a place most songwriters hope to touch.
Yeah.
Greatest song by Jason Isbell, without a doubt, is Decoration Day. I can listen to that song 100,000 times and not understand who's doing what. And I love it. That's what I love about that.
Yeah,
Let's make it a
Isbell's
post.
unbelievable.
We could have a whole pod just on Isbell.
Awesome.
Like, cover me up.
All right.
So let's do this.
Let's push on to
So Jeff's one of us in here has an anniversary dinner to attend. Oh. And thank you for your time for being here. So let's combine the last, and let's kind of do a little bit of a what is the
lightning round?
Lightning round.
Lightning round.
Lightning round. All right, real quick. Combine overrated, underrated bands, or choose what you want to talk about, with bands or artists that you're embarrassed to admit that you like. Jeff, you go first.
All right. So, overrated for me is really easy. U2. U2 for me is an extremely overrated band. I get the Joshua Tree and I get the stuff prior to it. Everything after that, there might be a part of me that was affected by, I'm not going to name names, but somebody that in college that I worked closely with who played obsessively U2 all the time. Underrated for me, being a guy from Baltimore, if Mike was here or around Baltimore, a rock band that came out at the wrong time because Nirvana had started taking out the radio is Kix. Kix should have been Motley Crue or AC/DC. Their records, if you like that music, KIX, Kix. Blow My Fuse, listen to that record. They're like AC/DC times 20. They're just a great band. Things I'm embarrassed by. I don't necessarily have one, and I know that's an easy out, but like, I think music is just, I don't care. Like, I've always been like, I like it. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, if you
I
like it, you
really
like
don't
it.
care. Like, I will exclaim to the heavens that Ambrosia is like the best band ever, and they have 3 songs that I love. But you know, I'll
love it all. You
I'll listen
appreciate
to
it
pop
all.
music. You know, I've got like, you know, Len's "Steal My Sunshine" is probably my favorite pop song of the '90s.
I think it's a little bit of a cop out that you're like,
I know,
I'm
but
not
like I'm not. I don't
just-
care. But I'm not.
Okay,
I mean, I
that's
don't. I
fine.
love boy
That's fine.
bands. I love
There's
Britney
just a lot of
Spears.
love over
I love
there.
Taylor Swift. If
Okay,
Taylor
well,
comes on the
you've kind
radio,
of prefaced.
I just don't care.
You've prefaced
What
the
people
tone,
think of
'cause
my-
then I can.
Right,
I'm-
you
then
can
I
if you
feel
want to.
less, I feel less embarrassed about who I'm going to name. So thank you, Jeff, for
just don't
setting
care.
that up. No,
I don't
cool.
care.
Kyle, jump in.
All right, so I kind of feel the same as Jeff. I'm not embarrassed for anything. Like, I love Taylor Swift, Adele, Sabrina Carpenter. I don't care. Like, I love all music. Like, anything classical, rap, rock, whatever. Underrated bands, I'm going to go either the Smiths, which I love.
God, I don't even know
Or
if they're underrated.
or Need to Breathe. Shout out to Mike Thomas. Need to Breathe. And again, that's what I put on my
your top 5.
Yeah, my top 5. So live at Bridgeton Arena, do that. Overrated, clearly Dave Matthews Band.
Kyle wants to fight. Kyle wants to fight today.
I really am kidding. I put that. I really put that in just to mess with Jeff.
I get, but the thing is I get that. Like, his voice back in the early '90s.
No, because
was
I love
really annoying.
him. Dude, I love Dave Matthews Band. I love his solo stuff. Like, I have loved all of that stuff. I just want to say it to get under your skin. My overrated is actually Coldplay.
Really?
Yeah. I get it. Like, I'll listen to it, but I'm just not on the hype.
Interesting.
Derek.
Jump in, Derek.
You guys have heard the DMB anecdote that, like, there was a period of time in the United States where Crash, the song Crash, was responsible for like a third of pregnancies on the East Coast.
Crash into me. Yeah. Oh, hey, there's a whole story behind
Hike up your
that.
skirt a little more.
Hey, I want to go back
Show the
real
world
quick.
to me.
I want you to imagine all the demos that Chris Stapleton's voice was on for years.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
That circulated in Nashville, and no one ever was like, oh, hey, maybe this guy. I always joke, like, when people talk about the music business and why is this band hot and this one, we see a great band, and you're like, why aren't they famous? Nashville hid Chris Stapleton from us forever.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, just ponder that for a hot
Tony
second.
understands that.
Well, and think about
Well-
where, all the other places that happens, right? Because that's all over the place. It's all
yeah.
marketing. It's
Yeah.
all, yeah.
Well, I heard an interview with Megan Trainor just last week. Same thing with her, because she's a bigger girl, but she wrote a bunch of good songs that kept getting pawned off to different artists.
It's
until they
all about
finally-
that bass. About
Exactly.
that bass.
Yeah.
No treble.
Until she finally got her chance to shine, but same thing.
And then she went on the Ozempic, and now the bass is gone. She's all trouble.
Trouble or treble?
Both.
Both.
All right, Derek.
All right, that leads me to an underrated band, the Band of Heathens.
Okay.
I have never
one.
taken anybody to a Heathen show,
Really good one.
and had them not look at me and say, "I cannot believe these guys aren't huge. They're incredible." Overrated for me, Madonna.
You're out of your
I
mind.
almost went that
Michelle
route.
is
You are out of your
I-
mind.
Cannot stand that woman. She just
Her first 2 albums were great.
I feel like she would be so difficult to be in a room with. Like she would just be
And Jason Esbill's is just a cup of tea.
better than hey, why aren't there the right number of flower petals?
But we're not talking about
But dude,
You give me a Mac. You give me a.
I also just don't care for her music.
Places.
I actually like it better when Norman sings it. No, I don't.
Immaculate Collection is one of the.
I just don't care for the woman's music.
fair enough.
I love this.
Look,
no
in
judgment.
college,
No judgment.
I can say that when Bedtime Stories came out, that record was on rotation on early morning Sundays in our apartment, which is a fantastic Madonna record. Just saying. But I get where you're coming from.
And then, is there anyone that you would be in? No, you wouldn't. That you'd be embarrassed to admit that you
No, love what you love.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
100%.
Brian, jump in. Overrated, underrated, embarrassed that you like somebody.
Like Jeff, this is a tough topic for me because I enjoy it all. I love it all. I have a playlist that's called Guilty Pleasures, and it's songs that I just love, right? So I'm not ashamed. I love me some One Direction. So I can go from some upbeat song. I can go Night Changes, Story of My Life. If you haven't listened to Story of My Life by One Direction, don't let boy bands
Oh my God.
dissuade
It's
you.
amazing.
I'm telling you.
I will do that on karaoke for you.
It is such a great song. So I'm a closet One Direction fan. Comments?
No.
No? Okay. Yeah.
Do you, baby?
Overrated that's a big phrase. I never really got into The Cure. I never.
With you there.
While I respect the Counting Crows, I've got 2 of their albums. I never really got into it, and it wouldn't be a Stranded on an Island album, and I'm not poking at your list. So that's one I've always struggled with. I want to get into more and listen to more Rush. I never really got into it, didn't really know it, didn't really appreciate it. So it's not like I dislike it, but I'm curious. And that's kind of my list. It's short and sweet.
I'd say one thing about Rush as a lyrics person. Their songs aren't really about people.
No.
Yeah.
So it's there's no warm fuzzy. There's no you hear something and go, oh yeah, I can really identify with that because they're very different. It's almost
Yeah. There was a few Spirit of the Radio or Red Barchetta or something like that, but a lot of it was Neil Peart was doing a lot of fantasy writing, and Derek's rolling his eyes at me.
fantasy.
But the drummer was their lyricist after the first record, and he was very well read. So I'll just leave it at that. It was definitely in the realm of D&D players.
Here we go.
So, from my vantage point, when we talk about, I really don't have. I'll be honest. I don't have an underrated group. I think music is one of those things if you hear it, it's in your wheelhouse and you like it, and nobody really kicks it to the curb, right? So I'm good with that. I don't have one. Overrated, I have one.
I know you do.
And there's only one group.
Oh, God.
The Red Clay Strays. Oh. They are the most
For real?
overrated.
You didn't go where I thought you were
I
going.
said it. I ain't scared. I told y'all I'll take you out here to freaking Marshall Farm Street and we can figure it out like men.
Over red clay strays.
The red clay strays
I thought you were doing Beastie
are the
Boys.
most overrated. No, not Beasties.
I thought you were going to go.
After
Should have
listening
been
to
the
that
Bee Gees.
that podcast y'all sent me the other night, I have a different view of the Beastie Boys. Right?
You needed a podcast. You needed a podcast to change
Yeah,
your
he doesn't
opinion
Yeah,
like
about
because
the
I always
Beastie
thought they
Boys?
were corny. I'm just being honest. I thought they were
God.
corny. And I can't help that. Like I thought
Hey,
they were
Brian,
corny.
Brian, we have a podcast in our future that's going to address
The corniness,
the subtle differences.
That would
But-
be a long podcast.
It'll be long. But after listening to this podcast that the gentleman of the Moose sent me about just how some of those Beastie Boy records were made, I have a new respect.
Derek, you want to talk about that one?
But
'Cause
ultimately-
you sent it to him once he's done.
Yeah, talk about that podcast that you sent me so people will go listen to it.
Yeah, it's an old podcast. It's Tom Segura. So it was called Tom Talks, and he had a guy named Christian James Hand on there. We discovered it by accident. Christian James Hand does music breakdowns, takes the stem recordings from songs and breaks down each instrument and then kind of pieces it back together and explains it and tells you some of the backstory. It's phenomenal and way too hard to find, but unbelievable. It will change the way, like Hotel California is a song I had heard all the times I ever needed to hear it. Like I was good. And I heard his breakdown of it and I listened to the song in an all new way.
Probably
Like,
cried.
It woke the song up for
Yeah.
me. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So during that episode, he breaks down "So What You Want" by the Beastie Boys, and Christian James Hand talks about how his background in hip hop, and it's just an extremely interesting, eye opening sort of podcast, and lets you into a whole nother world of music production. So
So I think it's worth listening to if anybody's out there, like, to know that. And going into that, I didn't realize they were like real musicians. I thought they were just like, a bunch of guys being corny. But they were musicians. And to hear how some of that was developed, the Hello Kitty microphone that they recorded a song on was fantastic, right? And it changed my lens. They would have been my most overrated. But until now, Red Clay Strays take the title. I know people love him. My buddy Tom is a huge fan. Love you, Tom, but I know that's your guy, but just not a fan. I think they're overrated. I think it's a lot of noise. I think it's a lot of and
Like
everybody
he's showing off.
yeah, he's just showing off a little bit. And not because the music isn't good, because I'm not knocking the music. What I am knocking is the fact that people just kind of started riding the coattails. And I'm not just one of those guys that coattail rides. And I'm not a fan. Again, my wife, who I love,
Let's hope so.
she introduced herself to Red Clay Strays via Alexa and is a big, huge fan. So everybody's got their thing, right? Now, the one group that I won't say I'm embarrassed, but I won't just be like, you won't maybe hear me listening to them. It's because I fell in love with my wife to them. And it's the Dixie Chicks. They've changed their name to the Chicks. Landslide version by the Dixie Chicks.
That is good.
I remember how I met my wife, where I met her. And I remember they lived in a house in Jacksonville, Alabama, 310 Forney Avenue. So if you're ever in Jacksonville, go to 310 Forney Avenue. There's a white house on the right-hand side. And my wife and her friends would be listening to the Dixie Chicks and listening to Landslide. Of course, Fleetwood's got their version.
yeah,
But there was something magical about the Dixie Chicks version of Landslide. And then you go through their catalog of music. I mean, Earl's Gotta Die.
So good.
I mean, Earl, you gotta die. You
Earl.
put
So
your
good.
hands on our girl for the last time.
They came up with one conclusion.
One
conclusion.
What
There's
happened?
nothing else
Earl
to do.
gotta die.
Earl's Gotta Die.
Na, 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 na.
Such a great song.
It is fantastic. Fly Away, Cowboy Take Me, just the entire
They
catalog.
faded
So
quick.
They did, and
They faded. Gosh, I love
but they
them.
had great music, and I don't listen to them like. And when I get in my truck, I'll cut them on, and I'll reminisce of the times when I looked at my wife, my future wife, and I knew then that was a woman I was going to marry because
She
of
lost the
landslide.
bet.
She lost the bet.
She lost a bet.
Hey Norm, have you listened to "Traveling Soldier" by Cody Johnson?
No, I haven't. I've never.
Brand
I've
new.
only listened to their version.
Brand new. Well, not brand new, like within the last
Is
year.
it good? It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, it's
All
really
All right,
good.
it's on the list.
We are about to wrap up. My overrated, underrated fall into the same category. It's Aerosmith.
Fair.
It's a very debatable
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah.
You've been eating corn.
Wait, is this over and underrated?
No.
Explain yourself.
well, it's in that category of just pick one that you feels like is overrated or underrated.
This comes full
And
circle
it,
now.
and it becomes a lot of people debate whether or not Aerosmith are underrated or overrated. It's one of these where it's like, go back in time 15, 20 years. And it's like Aerosmith has sent out some bangers into the universe. And whether they're corny or they're, like a Nickelback or a Coldplay or whatever, I think that they've released some Americana bangers that everyone of us, if it came on, we'd be like, hell yeah,
I feel like Aerosmith's properly rated.
Yeah. I was going to test for clarity there. Are you saying they're underrated?
No, I'm putting them combined in it's debated that they're either overrated or underrated.
It's just it's just in how it exists in his head. There's no right or wrong.
Well, Aerosmith's weird because they had
It feels to
They
me
had two
like a
different,
lot of
right,
people rate
the
them
70s
as overrated.
Aerosmith.
they had the first run.
And then the Permanent Vacation coming back run.
Yeah, well, the Run DMC
Right.
thing was
Yeah.
And
what
then the
brought that.
Armageddon. I mean, that's what I remember.
I mean,
You want to cry? Watch
Yeah.
Armageddon.
yeah.
And then because Jeff started this out with it doesn't matter who you like,
Right.
So just like who you
Sorry.
like. No. I'm feeling less vulnerable.
Okay. Good.
I really, really love me some Katy Perry.
As you should.
Oh yeah.
love
Hey
some
man,
Katy
takes you
Perry.
to a place.
She's an
Yeah,
incredible.
she's-
She's an incredible person.
Let me see your body work.
Hey, before we wrap this up, Campbell's son Dean rolled in here during the podcast. So Dean, you want to say anything?
What's
You
up,
just kind of want to
Dean?
chill in the background.
Eat
Just say
that mic,
hello.
boy. Eat that
Gosh, look
mic.
at this. Look at this.
Eat that
comment.
mic.
Guys, this is Dean. I'm the son of Campbell. The kids, these are all the dads in our neighborhood. We all love them. They're all like father figures to us. And we all want to get in a podcast one day. So
Yep. We're going to make it happen.
I just got done with the gym and I was throwing this on the way back. So, and I drove by to see if you guys are still doing it, and you were still here.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hashtag Wingate.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dino.
Hashtag
We got a
shameless
Wingate
plug
lacrosse
for
player.
more
Go
airtime.
Dino.
I'm in.
Awesome.
We just made
all right.
Frosty real happy.
Yes, that's
We
correct.
did. If she listened to the end, this has been like an hour and 15 minutes.
Hour and 20
Anybody
minutes.
want to real quick? Jeff's got to get out of here to
Gotta
tend to his
clean my
anniversary
butt.
deals. Anybody got anything closing?
I just love you guys.
I love you too,
Happy
man.
to be around here for this extended weekend. Just
Happy Memorial Day
Yes,
to
happy
the
Memorial
people
Day.
that
Hey,
died.
And
for-
just remember, and Campbell, you saying something real, and I cut you off, so forgive me.
you good.
Music is for everybody. And the beautiful part of music is that it lets you into the window of someone's soul, quite frankly. So till today, I've had an opportunity to look at my friends and look literally into their souls. And I'm going to go back tonight. I'll get upstairs in the office and I'll make some notes of some of this great music that they spouted out today. But it'll give me a glimpse into who they are. And that, for me, is magical.
Nice.
Magical.
All right, so this. Who knows when this is going to be released, but it is being recorded on the Game 3 day of the Eastern Conference Finals. So hopefully our Canes get a win tonight. I don't know when this is going to be released. We're kind of backlogging this episode, but that's the music episode. We had a great conversation. I'm sure we'll do a lot more music ones in the future. Music's connected to a memory. Every song you shouldn't like is probably a song that takes you back to a specific time and place. This is 15 Friends. We appreciate you guys. We love y'all. Have a great time.
Love
Much
you guys.
love.
Love
Much
you,
love,
boys.
guys. Love you guys.